In this video, we're going to form and solve an equation using the area of a trapezium. Now, let's just remind ourselves how we find the area of a trapezium. If we have a shape like this, and remember trapezium, you have a pair of parallel sides like that, then if those two parallel sides are A and B, and the distance between those two parallel sides is h, then the area of the trapezium is equal to the average of the parallel sides. So you find the average by adding them and divide by 2, multiplied by the height between them. Now we're given all that information in this question. We're given the two parallel sides, their lengths, and we're given the distance between those two parallel sides, and we're given the area. So we just need to substitute into that equation for the area of trapezium, and then hopefully that will give us an equation in terms of x we can solve. Now, firstly, it tells us the area of the trapezium is 70. So I'm going to write the area as 70. And then what are the two parallel sides, A and B? Well, we can make that A and that B either way round. So A and B, 21 plus 14. And that's over 2. And then we multiply by the distance between them. So the distance between them is this x minus 2 here. So I'm going to put that in. So let's just simplify a bit. 21 plus 14 is 35. And then we don't need to write the times symbol. We could just write x minus 2 after it. Because remember in algebra, when things are next to each other, it just means you're multiplying them anyway. So we don't need that times symbol anymore. Now, how can we simplify further? Well, we could expand the bracket out now. Or I don't like that over 2 here. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2 so we don't have fractions anymore. So times the left-hand side by 2 and the right-hand side by 2. Now, if we times the left-hand side by 2, we get 140. And the 35 over 2, the times by 2 cancels out that over 2 to leave just 35. Now, a really important point here is that you don't multiply the x minus 2 by 2 as well. And the reason is let's just say you had 3 times 3, and I wanted to make that twice as big. I wouldn't times both of those numbers by 2. I would just multiply one of those numbers by 2, because 3 times 3 is 9, 6 times 3 is 18. And you can see, look, this is getting twice as big, but I didn't make both those numbers in the multiplication twice as big. I just made one of the numbers in the multiplication twice as big. So if I want to times this whole thing by 2, I either times the 35 over 2 by 2, which is what I did, or I times the x minus 2 by 2, but not both, because otherwise it would be 4 times as big. So, okay, we've got this equation. We could expand the brackets, or we could divide both sides by 35. Because look, the x, we're subtracting 2, and then that is being multiplied by 35 to get 140. So let's divide both sides of the equation by 35. Now on the left-hand side, 35 goes into 140 4 times. And on the right-hand side, the divide by 35 gets rid of that times by 35, leaving x minus 2. And then what minus 2 is 4? Well, it's 6, isn't it? So x is 6, and that is the final answer.